From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, the number one goal of Weather NorCal is to give you the best resource for weather information for Northern California. And that's, I think, what we've done here in the last year. We're almost going on a year anniversary, by the way, of Weather NorCal. Definitely very exciting. But in that time, I've also developed some special programming, if you will. Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals is one of them. So if you go to weathernorcal.com, click on the Animal Family segment, you'll be able to find it there. And you can also find it on the free Weather NorCal app. Just tap on the Animal Family section, just kind of scroll at the bottom there, and you'll be able to not only see the latest video, but all of the Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals segments as well. So check it out. It's a lot of fun. Sharon, Clay, and I, and every once in a while a special guest as well, and we learn about the animals. It's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend you check it out. Let's take a look at those weather headlines, and well, we're talking about that heat. The heat wave peaks today and tomorrow, at least for the valley. And that peak will probably extend into Friday, especially for the higher elevations. But the fire danger, it's increasing, unfortunately, because as it heats up, things dry out even more, so lower humidity. Even though we don't expect any major wind events, it's still going to be very hot and dry, and that increases the fire danger. Also, a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms, especially in Modoc and Lassen counties. A closer look at that in a second. And we do expect a slight drop in our temperatures going into the weekend, but it's not going to be a very big drop. Here's your neighborhood forecast at a quick glance. Temperatures about the same as what we saw yet today. For tomorrow, for the coast, mid-60s. For the higher elevations, in the 90s. Although in Trinity County, how about temperatures over 100 degrees there as well? All right, so let's go and take a look at our forecast for tomorrow here. By the way, this is going to be a quick forecast here for those that just need a quick forecast. We'll be diving much deeper after this. But there you can see 105 to 106 in the valley, 90s, 80s, and 90s for the higher elevations, and those temperatures in the mid-60s for your daytime highs along the coast. So even the coast seeing some slightly warmer weather here, but there you can see the peak is, of course, today and tomorrow. Temperatures starting to drop, maybe dropping down below 100 degrees by Saturday, but back up to about 100, and then getting even warmer for Monday, Tuesday, with yet another slight dip in our temperatures by Wednesday of next week. For the coast, no big temperature spread differences there, mainly in the mid-60s. For the inland areas, temperatures dropping in the 80s, going back up, and then slightly back down again for next Wednesday. There are those triple digits for Weaverville through Friday, 90s for the weekend, and then upper 90s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and for the Eastern Mountains, by the way, for Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains, looking at a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms for the next couple of afternoons into the evening hours through Saturday, but that cooler weather coming in for the weekend. Okay, so there is your quick forecast. Now you can go on for the rest of your evening knowing what to expect. But if you want more detail, stick around, because we're going to talk now about that fire danger. The winds, as I mentioned, there's no major wind event. We're going to notice it a little breezy at times off and on, but we're going to notice a bit of a shift in the winds tomorrow. Still a little bit of a north-northwest, but you see how we're starting to see more of that southerly flow of winds in the valley. Now, typically that's key, because typically that cools us off and that gives us higher humidity. But since there's not much of a marine layer along the coast, that southerly influence is not going to have much of an impact. So you can see as we go into Friday morning, fairly calm winds, it gets a little breezy again and maybe even gusty, but from the south on Friday, still a bit breezy on the coast and some gusty winds at times for the eastern mountains as well. Now the humidity down to the single digits for Thursday. Humidity continues to be quite low for your Friday as we go into Saturday quite possibly as well. So what that means is when you combine the heat, the wind's not a big factor, but the humidity is very low. High fire danger. That's what it looks like on Thursday. Let's take you into Friday. We're still looking at that high fire danger. And I just want to point out, I mean, we're really getting into those deep, deep oranges and even just slightly red. So that puts us in the high to very high category. Some of the highest fire danger we've seen since really the season started. Now we look at the excessive heat warning, still in effect through Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, with temperatures between 95 and 108. 108 is definitely on the high end. I don't think we're going to get quite that hot But you get the idea. We have that heat risk is in the major category. It doesn't matter how healthy you are, you've got to stay hydrated. That's the key. Because if you're out there overexerting yourself in this heat, even the healthy people can be infected by it. So just remember that. But as we go into Friday, we're going to break away from the reds, get more in that moderate category. And this is going to be mainly for people that are sensitive to heat. So especially the elderly people, younger children, you need to be on the lookout for them and make sure that they are staying hydrated and stay cool. Now that heat risk is going to stay in the moderate category. In fact, we're going to even see sprinkles of minor category in parts of the valley as well. So conditions are improving on Saturday, but just as quickly as they improve, they begin to diminish. Because notice on Sunday, more in the moderate category for the valley, and then eventually by the time we get into Monday of next week, we are getting into that major category once again. So yes, it's going down, but then going back up again. And this is something I haven't touched on since I've started Weather NorCal, but now we're going to touch on it. And I want you to remember to protect your pet's paws. First, think about this. If the grass temperature is 90 degrees, the concrete is 99, the soil is 106, brick surface is 107, asphalt is 118, and AstroTurf is 125 degrees. So here's the bottom line. What's too hot for your pet? It's really easy. Take the back of your hand, put it on the surface. If you can't hold it on that surface for 5 seconds or more, it's too hot for your pet. That's the bottom line. So the best thing to do is take your dog or your pets out. It could be a dog, it could be a cat. Sometimes people take their cats for a walk. But it's best to take your pets out for a walk in the early morning hours. After that, especially during these heat waves, it's not a good idea to put them out on that concrete. All right, there you can see that bubble of heat is off to our east. It's going to stick around here for Thursday, Friday, even into Saturday. But there's Thursday, right? What's going to happen is this cooler air is going to ride to our north. Now it's staying way to the north into Canada. But what it's doing is it's breaking down at that ridge of high pressure. And when we break down the ridge, our temperatures drop. But that heat's kind of just lingering. It's kind of sticking around. Even though the temperatures are dropping, it's still going to be rather hot. Temperatures well into the 90s for the valley. Now as we go into Sunday, Monday, that heat pushes down to the south. And you think, okay, everything's going to be okay. No, there's another ridge off over the Pacific that's trying to build in. And notice I said trying to build in. Because yes, we do have that, that typical arc in the jet stream here. That's the ridge of high pressure. But we're not looking at something like this. When we have something like this, boy, that's when we're talking much hotter temperatures. Now the reason we're not getting that is because of this. This cooler air is riding northward. And what it's doing is it's just squashing that ridge of high pressure. And that's not allowing our temperatures to get as hot as they could. And notice I said they're not getting as hot because it's still going to get hot. Because we still have this kind of this broad ridge of high pressure, but once again, we're not looking at a broad ridge like this. This cooler air to our north is our saving grace. And that's the reason why our temperatures aren't going to get as hot. But you see we got the ridge here, we got another ridge here. They're trying to move in, but that cooler air is preventing that from happening. Let's talk about our chances for rain, because there are chances for showers and thunderstorms in the eastern mountains as we go into tomorrow afternoon. There you can see maybe some fog tomorrow morning, but tomorrow afternoon, there it is. We're seeing mainly in eastern Lassen County and into southeastern portions of Modoc County. Now we take you into your Friday morning, maybe some fog along the coast. Friday afternoon, once again, same situation. Scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms here off into the eastern mountains. But the rest of us dry. The rest of us looking at sunny skies. Now your wave heights, they've been fairly high. In fact, I got a little button happy there. Let's take you back here. Let's take a look at your wave heights. We'll take you into Thursday. You see how they're retreating a little bit here, but still fairly high. Going into your Friday, they're retreating even more. So that certainly is some good news if you do need to be on a small boat. But keep in mind, there was a hazardous seas warning today that will stay in effect through Thursday afternoon. Those winds will be from the northwest at 15 to 20 knots, with your waves to the northwest at 7 feet at 7 seconds and at 13 seconds. So yeah, looking at some pretty high wave heights out there. And there still is a beach hazard statement through tomorrow morning. hopefully conditions should improve along the coast here as we go through the day tomorrow. Here's what it looks like for tonight. Whew, man, I tell you what, this is the reason why we're in that excessive heat warning. Typically, if you can't get those temperatures below 75 or 70 degrees, you've got a problem, because that's going to set the stage for a very hot day, especially when you're already expecting to see those hot temperatures. And even in the mountains, they're only dropping down into the mid to upper 50s and low 60s, and those upper 40s to low 50s along the coast. Now that looks nice. All right, here's a look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. We are seeing some triple digits for some of the warmer spots in Trinity County, otherwise mainly in the 90s elsewhere. Now you can see for central and southern Humboldt County, temperatures in the upper 90s for Garberville and Alder Point, 74 degrees for Blue Lake, and of course for Eureka, 65 degrees. In fact, look at the coast 7 days. Mid-60s, give or take, for the next 7 days. That's the place to cool off here during these heat waves. 81 Smith River, Gas Key, 93. 95 in Orleans, 97 degrees for Hoopa. Willow Creek, man, you're flirting with that triple-digit mark tomorrow. Or take a look at Siskiyou County here for your Thursday. And there you can see temperatures in the 90s, well into the 90s as a matter of fact. So that's the peak for tomorrow and Friday. Upper 80s for the weekend. Back in the 90s by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast load, and maybe some mid-90s for some of the warmer spots. It's getting hot, but there's that chance for those isolated showers and thunderstorms late in the afternoon, early evening, but otherwise just looking at those afternoon clouds developing. That's also the case in the eastern mountains, and I would say that most of the thunderstorms, if they develop, will be basically Chester eastward. You start heading into Bernie maybe, but Viola, Mineral, Paradise, Shingletown, I don't anticipate any thunderstorms there. All right, let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Those temperatures once again over 100 degrees. We see that dip in the temperatures over the weekend, but still hot over the weekend before it warms up even more going into early next week. 106 for Anderson, Redding, Cottonwood, maybe 107 Palisadro, 101 for Whiskeytown, and Lakehead about 103 degrees. So there's your 7-day forecast for Redding. So again, you can see the temperatures dropping. You know, we may make it through the weekend without even dropping below 100 degrees, at least for the daytime high, right? So a high of 98 Saturday, 100 Sunday. Then there's another increase in those temperatures for Monday, Tuesday, but it looks like we should drop those temperatures by the middle of next week.
Everywhere I go, I'm riding with pride. I'm riding on my go-go. Watch me glide. Everywhere I go, I'm getting around. I'm riding on my go-go. All over town. I'm riding in style and feeling so right. It's easy to take and it's all so right. Everywhere I go, I'm riding on my go-go.
Everything Medical, your mobility experts.